There is a really easy way to stop worrying about how Alex Ovechkin celebrates scoring goals. Don't let him score goals. Time to make a line change here with Matthew Barnaby, Barry Melrose, and E.J. Raddick.
You'd have been a smart coach with that.
Yeah, you like that idea?
Yeah, a long way.
We have the perfect combination to get some perspective on this. The media, keepers of the game's tradition, the coach who has to deal with what's become a big deal for some reason, and the player
who never scored goals.
Right.
Great celebrator, though.
He was
one of the best.
What do you do about it? So let's start with you, EJ, here. Too much being made of all this?
I think so. For me, there is. I mean, I think the last thing we need is to wring any more personality out of hockey. I mean, these guys are pretty earnest guys to begin with. I think more than anything, and I talked to Matthew before we went on about it a little bit, I think it was just a dumb celebration more than anything else. It was just didn't have any zip to it. I mean, everybody was kind of wondering what was he doing when the puck was stick on the ice. But to me, I think it's much ado about nothing, and I like it when guys have a little emotion, and if they want to even make things up beforehand, I don't care. I mean, like I thought you had a good idea. If you want to do something about it, either stop him from scoring, or when he does it, go over and slap him. You're allowed to do that in hockey, I think.
EJ, the kid scored 50 goals. Let him do whatever he wants.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
You can say it was a dumb celebration, whatever. Obviously, he thought it out. It's good to be that good that you're thinking out what you're going to do when you celebrate goals. But the guy's fantastic. He's a face of the NHL. He plays with passion. He plays with courage. He's one of the top physical players in the NHL also. Everybody should love this guy in our sport. Nobody should criticize him. He doesn't celebrate like that all the time. It was a momentum goal, a huge goal in his career. 50 goals is still a huge thing in the NHL. More guys should do it. I don't want to see guys celebrating if you're losing a game and things like that. But when you set a record like Ovechkin is and plays like Ovechkin, I don't have any problem with anything he does after he scores a goal, Matthew.
I agree. And the reason I used to celebrate EJ is because I didn't get them very often. So I was so excited. But I understand from the other team's perspective. I understand that Tampa Bay, they've had a tough year. And you know what? Just a few weeks ago, Mike Green set a record for the NHL scoring consecutive goals in consecutive games. So there was a celebration there where everyone came on the ice. I think Tampa Bay's a little fed up seeing guys celebrate against them every single time. And Ovechkin, I love it. I love the emotion he brings. I want to see him celebrate every time he scores a goal, not like in Toronto last night. Let this guy, he's the face of the NHL right now, the best player, Barry, as hard as it is for me to admit it. You are right, he is the best player in the NHL right now. Let him celebrate, but I understand also Tampa. I understand that they've had a tough year, and it's tough to watch these guys celebrate.
Very tough. But
you know what?
Tampa.
The most of the noise didn't come from Tampa. It's come from Canadian media.
Yes, that's true. That is true.
You know, Tampa realized it was a huge goal. It's the media in Canada that are making it big. If it was a Canadian player, and if it was Sidney Crosby, and he did that, there wouldn't be a problem in Canada.
And they're trying to avoid, here's your deal, you have to try to avoid distractions. Here's his quote on why he's doing what he's doing. He says, it's a big number, I think, for everybody. If I get it, why can't I celebrate? If you win the lottery, $1 million, you go to the bar and drink a lot. I scored 50 goals, and I just celebrated. I mean, if you're his coach, and you're saying this has made such a big deal out of all of this, what do you tell him? Tone it down? Don't tone it down?
Bruce Boudreau had the best line after the game. He said, 25 years ago, everyone was complaining about the Russian players showing no emotion. If you remember when they lost the 1980 Olympic to the American team, they just stood there like statues. There was no crying. There was no anger or anything. They just looked like robots out there. Now we got young European players that play with passion. They show how much they care. They show how much they enjoy the game. That's not a bad thing. We should celebrate that, not try and knock these guys down.
You want him on your team, don't you?
I certainly want him on the team.
Everybody does.
And the best part of this whole thing is hearing Tampa's quotes, too, saying, you know, we're going to do something about it. We're going to go get him. Well, be careful what you wish for with this guy, because if you're going to try to run him over, I guarantee you're going to be on the receiving end of this one. He is a phenomenal player, and he's good for the game. Keep celebrating. Again, we love it.